Hey, are you back? Hey, how you doing? Anywho, y'all know we back. This is part two, chapter two of Genesis. We reading the Bible. First of all, thank you so much for tuning in with me, helping me along my journey to read the whole Bible from start to finish, whether I know how to pronounce some of the words or not. We're in this together, right? Thank you so much for being in it with me. But quick introduction. My name is Tamika Collins, and this is my YouTube page. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Like, share, subscribe, and like I said, we're gonna get into this word, and we're gonna read this Bible from beginning to the end. Okay, we gonna get it done. Get it done. All right. So we are in Genesis chapter 2. Chapter 1. God done spoke everything, pretty much everything, light, day, water, sky, sun, moon, creatures, bugs, all of that, even Adam. But here comes something great, something great, something great. Okay, here we go. Chapter 2, Genesis. So the creation of the heavens and the earth and everything in them was completed. On the seventh day, God had finished his work of creation, so he rested. God rested, y'all. Get you some rest, okay? It's detrimental to your health. He rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because it was the day when he rested from all of his work of creation. Oh, my battery's going dead. Sorry. Well, it ain't going dead, but it's a little low. Anywho, when this is the account of the creation of the heavens and earth. When the Lord God made the earth and heavens, neither wild plants nor greens were growing on the earth, for the Lord had not yet sent rain to the earth, to the water to earth, to water the earth, and there were no people to cultivate the soil. Instead, springs came up from the ground and watered all the land. Then the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils, and the man became a living person. Oops, I apologize. I said he made Adam in that first chapter. He did not. He's making them now. Okay, all right. The Lord God made the Lord. Then the Lord formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils, and the man became a living person. Then the Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and then placed the man he had made. The Lord God made all sorts of trees grow up from the ground, trees that were beautiful and that produced delicious fruit. In the middle of the garden, he placed the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed from the land of Eden, watering the garden and then dividing into four branches. The first branch, called Pishon, flowed around the entire land of Havilah, where gold is found. The gold of that land is exceptionally pure. Aromatic resin and onyx stone are also found there. The second branch, called the Gihon, flowed around the entire land of Cush. The third branch, called the Tigris, flowed east of the land of Ashur. The fourth branch is called the Euphrates. The Lord placed The Lord God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to tend and watch over it. But the Lord God warned him, "You may freely eat the fruit of every tree in the garden, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat its fruit, you are sure to die. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper for him." So the Lord God formed from the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would call them, and the man chose a name for each. He gave names to all the livestock of all the birds of the sky and all the wild animals, but still there was no helper just right for him. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. While the man slept, the Lord God took out one of the man's ribs and closed up the opening. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib, and he brought her to the man. "At last," the man exclaimed, happy, joyful, wonderful. "This one is bone from my bone and flesh from my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken from man." This explains why a man leaves his father and his mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. Now the man and wife were both naked, but they felt no shame. Oh, that's the second. That was the second chapter. That's it. So we can go ahead to the third chapter. We're gonna try to go ahead and get this one too. All right. Third chapter. The man and woman sin. That's the title of this one. The serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals of the Lord God that the Lord God had made. One day he asked the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees in the garden?" "Of course we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden," the woman replied. "It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden we should not. Oh, that we are not allowed to eat." I'm sorry, I'm paraphrasing. God said, "You must not eat or even touch it. If you do, you will die." "You won't die." Ain't that the enemy? Ooh, Jesus. No, you won't, girl. You won't. You want yourself. "You won't die," the serpent replied to the woman. "God knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil." The woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and the fruit looked delicious, but it ain't nutritious. Okay. That one ain't nutritious. That's not for us. We weren't supposed to eat that. Anyway. And she wanted the wisdom it would give her. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it too. He didn't say no. I'm just messing. I'm not going to get no debates. No, we're not going to do that. Okay. All right. Okay, so he ate it too. At that moment, their eyes were open and they suddenly felt ashamed at their nakedness. So they sewed fig leaves. I'm going to need a whole branch. I got a lot of coverage. So they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. When the cool evening breezes were blowing, the man and his wife heard the Lord God walking about in the garden. Uh-oh, here come Daddy. So they hid from the Lord God among the trees. Then the Lord God called to man, "Where are you? Where you at?" He replied, "I heard you was walking in the garden, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked." "Who told you you was naked?" the Lord God asked. "Have you eaten from that tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat?" The man replied, "It was the woman who she gave me some." "Really? Who told you you was naked?" I'm gonna read it again. I'm sorry. "Who told you you were naked?" the Lord God asked. "Have you eaten from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat?" The man replied, "It was the woman you gave me who gave me the fruit, and I ate it." Then God asked the woman, "What have you done? But Adam, he ain't even try to keep up. He ain't even try to take up for us. He just said, it was that woman you gave me. Really? Oh, you just gonna throw us up on the bus like that? That's okay. That's cool, dude. That is cool. Let's see. We're gonna get through chapter 3. Okay, reading on. The serpent deceived me, she said. She replied, that's why I ate it. Then the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than all animals, domestic and wild. You will crawl on your belly, groveling in the dust as long as you live, and I will cause hostility between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel. Then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and the pain you will give, and in pain you will give birth. And you will desire to control your husband, and he will rule over you. We ain't debating here. That's another time. And the man said, and to the man he said, since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree, whose fruit I commanded you not to eat. See, it wasn't just her fault. He told him first, so you ain't listen either. Ain't that life? Woo! Okay. Commanded you not to eat, whose fruit I commanded you not to eat. The ground is cursed because of you. All your life you will struggle to scratch a living from it. It will grow thorns and thistles for you, though you will eat of its grains. By the sweat of your brow will you have food to eat, until you return to the ground from which you were made. For you were made from dust, and to dust you will return. Then the man, Adam, named his wife Eve, because she would be the mother of all who live. And the Lord God made clothing from animal skins for Adam and his wife. See, he even took care of them after that. He was just like, you know what? Okay, let me make you some clothes. Then the Lord God said, look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever. Let me read it again because I didn't understand. Okay, hold on. Then the Lord God said, look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever. Then they will live forever. So the Lord God, oops, I got so many pages. So the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden, and he sent Adam out to cultivate the ground from which he had been made. After sending them out, the Lord God stationed mighty cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden, and he placed a flaming sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. Ooh. You got a cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden and a flaming sword on the other side. Oh, he placed a flaming sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. So we can't go there at the moment. But you know what? We're trying to make 100 because 99.5 won't do. See you next.